This is an InfoBlips Podcast Network production.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the weekly wrap-up with John and Yancy. My name is John Haynes, and I'm here with my co-host, Yancy Seals.
Hello, everybody. My name is Eric Trump, and I only pour cement. Hey, I pour cement only. Don't ask me no questions. Hey, John, how you doing, man?
Oh, I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. You are really good at that. We for you guys, we don't choreograph this at all. When he says is just finally he comes out and says it when the camera's on, and that's just funny as heck to me. I just pour cement. Okay, so don't ask me questions about finances. Those were the words.
That's way.
I know, Eric Trump, guys. These are Eric Trump, and his son, the other son, Don Jr., is almost the same thing. Well, I signed the form, but I depend on the accountants. I don't know. I just signed the form. Like, really?
We pay these people fees. Let them do that. I'm sorry. And here's what Eric said. I am several realms above that. And I don't have time to be going down there and do all that. So what did Latrice, the ADM do? She went in her records and pulled out several emails where he was involved. That's the dumbest boy.
Man, I'm like, yeah, you're a liar. Let's just make this clear from the beginning. You're a liar. Okay, so continue. I was like, come on, man. You know, look, I did a lot of property management, huge amount. You don't just pour cement, and you got to keep your eye on the ball, man, because they give you, you have different amounts that you have to spend in different periods of time on different types of projects. And for him to say that he just pours cement, I'm like, okay, so we just hired a cement, just get a cement truck, back it up, and the guy that's pouring the cement. Ask him about, finances. That's ridiculous. That is so totally, even saying it is ridiculous.
Those two are ultimately responsible for that business. Because according to Trump, he turned it over into the blind trust for them, and they ran it. Of course, we're not going to talk about before that blind trust. Let's talk about just that blind trust. We're talking about Eric and Don Trump. They are responsible. I don't care what happens. You are responsible for that business. It's just that damn simple. Can't get no simpler than that. Now you got Ivanka saying, "Oh, no, not me. I want to get away from this." Just say, "Oh, yes, you are. Get your left back. Answer some questions."
Yeah, I like.
They've been found guilty already. Now the judges find out how guilty are you? The best thing you can do for a rich person is make their ass broke.
That's about it. Just enable them from doing business again, especially in the state of New York. And let's just make it clear for the listeners, you guys. Basically, what's happening is the judge is proving that Donald Trump's his empire is all a sham. It's all perspective, because everybody will tell you that their perspective is 99% of it. It's all perspective, and it's just a lie. Now, does he embellish things? Yes, every businessman embellishes things, but there's only so far you can go. I mean, when you go to what is outlandish, it's like, what?
700 times. He went 700 times the appraised rate on things. He said my apartment is worth, the appraiser said it was worth 31 million. He said, no, my apartment is worth 275 million. Man, what's wrong with you?
Dude, I know, but
I'm going to come to this rescue here. I'm going to come to this rescue. The banks have a certain responsibility to verify those numbers. I'm sorry.
Okay, now you are exactly right. That you guys, what Yancy just said is totally on point. The banks have the responsibility to make sure that what they say that they have is correct. Okay, if I go to the bank and say, "Look, man, I need $100 million loan. I got $1 billion, though, so just go ahead and give it to me," they're gonna look at you like, "Okay, well, not a problem, Mr. Hanks. Can you show us that you have $100 billion or $1 billion, whatever money you have in the bank, to make sure that our money that we give out, that we loan you, is going to be safe?" And I'm not going to have it. So they're not going to give me the loan. Okay, so come on, man. The banks are responsible in the end of it. But it is a crime what they did, what the Trump organization is doing or have done.
No doubt. I believe the banks are enamored of working about the word Trump.
Mm.
On the word by Trump. You know, they say now they're trying to say that they lost out on billions because of the fraudulent rate they gave him. So anyway, they should have verified it.
I mean, and you're right. They should have verified it. But, you know, here's the thing, man. I didn't know this until I came to the East Coast. Most of the people in New York already knew this. They already know. This is the reason why he didn't want the trial in New York. The people of New York know. Yeah. They know he's a shyster. They know he's a liar. They know that he doesn't pay his bills. You know, he threatens people. He bullies people. You know, that's all verifiable factual information. If you want to, we can get into it. You know, it just doesn't matter. It doesn't make sense to me. That's the reason why I was so surprised when he ran and got elected. I'm like, okay, you know, so they elected a known shyster. This is something that, and we can get into this too, whether or not he's going to be the nominee, which he will be, but whether or not he's going to win election.
Watch out, man. We just switched gears. Nikki Haley is running right up his back, man. I'm gonna tell you here. I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm gonna go on record by saying it. If Nikki Haley gets the nomination, Biden's gonna have a problem.
Biden's gonna have a really big problem. I mean, because and Nikki Haley is actually putting it all out there. I mean, I read a clip. I think I posted a clip about where she was just saying, "Hey, Donald Trump added $8 billion to you know, and the Democrats didn't do that. That was him." You know, and I'm like, whoa! I had to actually listen to it 3 times to make sure I was listening to heard what I was listening to her say. And I'm like, okay, yeah. And I think Biden's good.
They added trillions, not billions.
Trillions. There you go. You're right. Trillions to the economy. I think Trump's going to have a problem. I mean, I think that Biden's going to have a problem anyway. Because you look at the numbers right now, and then I don't go by polls because polls have been proven to be wrong. But when you look at it right now, Biden's numbers are totally low. But no matter what Donald Trump does, and you said it last week, he uses it and parlays it, and his people gives him money, and it brings him higher. Like, you know, oh yeah, I'm being indicted again. Oh yeah, I'm in court again. They're after me. See, this is the reason why they're after me, because they don't want me to be your president again. This is how hard they're trying for me not to be your president. I'm like going, dude, it ain't that. Is that you're a crook.
Here's one of the issues. Look, America, look out for this one. Here it is. Donald Trump is going to go. He's going to push the envelope so far, so the judge put his ass in jail. Why? So he can go ahead and do this, and that be his new T-shirt motto.
Yeah,
make money off of it. He's gonna push him and push him and push him and push him until he put him in jail.
So you said that last week, and I started looking at what he was saying and how he was because everything that Donald Trump says is choreographed. Everything that he says has been thought out. Okay, and he to get the response that he knows he's going to get. Even though it sounds outlandish, but it is true. So basically, I'm listening to what he's saying. I'm like, okay, so if the judge had, you know, slapped me with a gag order like that, and then again told me I'm not playing, you know, and I'm gonna, you know, I would be quiet. Any human being that doesn't want to wind up in prison would be quiet.
But why
okay,
not?
But I know why not Donald Trump? Because, like you said, the obvious is he probably wants to be put in. And he knows they're not going to put him in general population. He knows they're going to put him into a little site, nice little area for a few minutes so he can have his photo op. Look what they're doing to me. They're just trying me not to be your president. I just don't, you know, and then again, and it's working. This is the whole thing. We laugh about it. We talk about it. We see how stupid it is to us, but it's working with his backers, you know, and I don't understand. You know, I was always shy about asking for money, man. You know that's the truth. I'm always shy about asking. And then I start looking at this going like, this man says he's a billionaire, and every time he gets caught with something, he tells people to give him money. He begs for money, and he gets it.
Yeah. They think something. Okay. Let me tear down the curtain. There's nothing in it for you.
There's nothing in it for you at all. You're giving this cat money, and then first off, why are you giving a billionaire money? Do you realize how much money a billionaire is? If he's a billionaire, like he says, you know how much money $1 billion is? You know, if he was a billionaire, and not only how much money it is, but also how far he can go, like his loans or you know, people will give him credit, you know, because he's a billionaire. He doesn't, supposedly, if he's a billionaire, he doesn't need the money. You know, I mean, you see the plane. I don't know if you understand the plane, but he has a plane. He has to have a pilot, a co-pilot. He's got to do maintenance on that plane. He's got to fuel that plane. He's got to keep that plane somewhere. I mean, that's why everybody tell you, go ahead.
Basically, he's been lying and cheating America, the American people, because we are part of that tax
Yes.
structure.
Oh, yeah.
Over a decade or more years, and now the chickens come to roost. And he's responsible, and so are the damn banks. Both of them are responsible.
I agree with you. The banks are responsible also. So the banks that actually loan him all that money, they should be held accountable also. It doesn't make sense to me that you know that this cat's not good for the money, but you're gonna loan it to him anyway. If you did your due diligence. I mean, and I don't know an accountant that would not, or a bank. Well, I don't know, because I don't have that much money, would not do due diligence on somebody's name. Maybe they do it.
You don't have a whole lot of money. If you just go for a small loan on your house, okay.
Yeah.
First, Mr. Seals, about 500,000. Okay, good. We'll check that out. They're gonna check. They're gonna do an appraisal. Mr. Your house is worth this.
Exactly. That's exactly what they do. I mean, you say, I'm going to, they call it a GP on the loan. Let's say, for instance, you have a business and you have to guarantee it, personally guarantee it, right? They'll say, okay, you can personally guarantee it, it's not a problem. But then they're going to check your bank accounts to make sure that the money that you say is in there is in there. I mean, I don't, but here we go. This is upper finance, and this is what people are doing. But again, I think you are correct that it should be, the bank should be held accountable 100% for them loaning him the money. And now now that we said that, watch, he's going to use that as an excuse. It's not my fault. They gave me the money.
But wait just a second, Tricky. The other part of that is on the bottom of that form, he said, I'm signing this in perjury. He signed that motherfucker right there.
I forgot all about that. I mean, you know what? You bring up there's a clause on the bottom of all of it that says, don't believe any of this. Do your own due diligence. Don't believe this at all. Do your own due diligence. It's like, okay, so this is all a lie, guys. And if you believe it, that's up to you. Oh, come on. So then he's trying to use that as an out. So there again, he's blaming the banks anyway.
Oh well.
And then you have Donald Trump Jr. Really, I guess, following after his father's footsteps, but then they said yesterday Eric got kind of testy with the courts.
I'd have threw his ass in jail myself. Who get tested with, little man? Get your ass in jail.
Contempt. Thank you. We'll talk to you. They need to just take the gloves completely off and get these people. This is real world. Excuse me. I said don't say it. What? Okay. Contempt of court. Bailiff, get him. And that's all it takes. In the courtroom, the judge is law. They could grab you and say, okay, I warned you, you're going to, now you're going to be held for 32 hours so you can understand what you said and come back and apologize to me, or you'll stay there until you do.
Man, whatever that dude say goes, man. Just that simple. Just take it.
That's why you don't want to be in court. I'm telling you, usually every time you're in court, whether you're on the winning side or losing side, you still lose, because even if you win, you're paying your lawyers. I mean, so I mean, that you didn't have to pay that if you didn't have to be in court. So that's just that. But yes, the Trump family didn't have a really good day in court, a good week in court this week. But you couldn't tell by Donald Trump's ratings.
Oh,
that's ridiculous.
He didn't lose a bit.
No, not at all. Not at all. And then, there's a lot going on in the world, and in America too, there's a lot going on. The people, I just read that the people who were part of that, the Memphis brawl, the one on the riverfront brawl, they gave them, anger control as their punishment for
beat up the cop who was doing his job.
They gave them anger management.
He's a privileged person, so he can put his goddamn boat there. But that's dock is for the ship.
Yes, yes. Anger management.
That's all he's okay. He learned his lesson.
He do it again. Don't worry about it. But see, this is another thing that I was just looking at that going, okay, so what would happen if that was reversed? What would happen if the races were reversed? Do you think they would give them anger management as a sentence?
Be in jail today. They'll be in jail right now today on chain gang down in Mississippi someplace.
Mm-hmm.
That's where they'll be. Simple as that. Can't get no simple.
I just don't understand. I mean, I'm looking at what's going on in the world, man, and I just shake my head. I'm like, this is like, it's bizarre. It is to me, it's just totally bizarre. What's happening in our country too. Go ahead.
The thing about you have a ex-president that said, what did he say? Hamas is wonderful. They're genius.
That's
what he said. That's what he said. He said they're genius. Now he's trying to backwalk that now.
Okay.
Back up in his face.
Yes, she did. Yes, she did. Yes, she did. Yes, she did. And that's what I'm saying. She's got the gloves off. Look, man, now that you mentioned Hamas, look, you know what? Here's one of the things, okay? I do not like Hamas. I don't think Hamas I think they're a terrorist group, like they said. And for the record, look, y'all, give them hostages back, okay? If you got the hostages, if Israel hasn't killed them yet, give them back. That bottom line on that, you need to give them back because that was wrong in the first place. And if you still got them, but see, and, but with the carpet bombing going on, I don't understand, what Israel's thinking. Like, if they want those hostages back, why are you bombing like that?
Well, their thing is just let's throw the baby out with the bathwater. They just wiping everybody because they don't want Palestinians in it any old way. So they want the whole region. But what Hamas did is absolutely 100% terrible, just sickening. It really is.
It is.
But you can't just go in with a dang butcher knife and start swailing around. You got to go in something a little more surgical and surgically remove these people somehow. Don't ask me how you do it. I don't know how you do it, but you can't just say, let's just bomb up everybody and kill civilians in there. You can't do that.
Man, Mossad, the intelligence group of the Israeli army, the Mossad, these are the best trained people on earth. Okay. They have the money of the United States backing them and other countries, but these people are really good. If you know that the Mossad is after you, you are definitely afraid. Okay, the Mossad has the capability and they have the intelligence to actually find out where these hostages are and to surgically remove them. Mossad, the people are dangerous. They're ruthless and they're dangerous. So I don't understand the bombing campaign. Why? What are you doing? You sent the Mossad in to paint the buildings that you're going to bomb. That's how you know that supposedly there's tunnels underneath there. They're not telling people that, but that's what happened. That's why they had the ground troops go in and they had surgical. See, this is the whole thing. They had those surgical ground troops go in on those different rushes at night. And I'm going, okay, so that's obviously, you're going in there to paint the buildings for the guided bombs to come in. But why don't you use that to find out where your hostages are, where the hostages are? I mean, unless you really want to destroy the Palestinian people.
That's exactly what they're trying to do. That's what I believe. Again, the Palestinian people have every right to live there in peace and bring their families up just like anybody else, anyone else. Do sometimes a section or a portion of a certain group of faction of people go out and cause problems? Yes. And they also
they do.
They're called MAGAs in America. Over there, they're called Humasians.
Humasians, okay. But yeah, like you said, just a group of people. There, of course, Israel is saying that Hamas actually is the government of Palestine, but then there's the Palestinian Authority that I thought that they were the people who were given power over them. I'm not sure about that, but the thing is that if you're after Hamas now has become an ideology. I mean, you made them basically an ideology, and they're not just over in Gaza. They're not just there. They're in other countries. And I saw that they bombed the airport in Syria, and I'm like going, okay, please, people, don't do that. Don't do that. Because if you do that, then you got Iran that's going to get involved, and if Iran gets involved, Russia gets involved, and if Russia gets involved, the United States gets involved, and there we go.
Yeah, World War.
Armageddon.
Thinking, you know what? Because Egypt, John, as you just mentioned, they shut their borders off because
Yes.
what's going on is that some of the Hamas people been trying to sneak in through Egypt.
Yeah.
And probably going to do an end run, go create some havoc someplace else, but they're trying to get through Egypt, get out of there too. But only because I believe they're trying to create another headquarters someplace else and start some shit.
Yeah. Yeah. And so, you know, that part of it, that's what's happening right now in Israel. And I just in the Middle East, and I just think that it's horrible. There are people that are dying. There are innocent people that are dying, and that to me is just horrible. You got people that you know, combat people. They're just civilians. They're not combative people. They don't have guns. They just running for their lives, trying to figure out how they're going to live in the rubble. I don't get it. And I think that, and whenever you raise that, if you critique Israel on that, people will call you anti-Semitic. There's a group of Jewish people that got together, and then they wrote a letter basically saying that, hey, if people discuss or don't agree with Israel, doesn't mean that they're anti-Semitic. They just don't agree with what's happening in Israel right now.
I think I read that. It also included some celebrities in that as well, didn't it? Did it not?
Yes. Yeah, some celebrities also, and they're like saying that, hey, just because you, I mean, like, then this is the whole thing. Just because I disagree with what Israel is doing, I mean, look, man, it's different than it has ever been before. We don't only have the nightly news. You got people on social media that is just changed the game, because they're continually giving, you know, sending images and sending messages and stuff. And you look at this stuff going like, wow, we never had that before. Okay, before it was just the news. And, you know, when we were coming up, it was just like the 6 o'clock and 11 o'clock news. Now it's 24/7. When you see innocent children dying like that, people are gonna, you know, people are gonna support the Palestinian cause. That's why you're having uprising in the colleges, and there's uprising in different places in different cities and different countries. People are getting pissed. They're like, you know, let's stop this. You know, we don't want to see this. And Israel is going to take a major hit for that, man. And they don't really care. Netanyahu does not care. Okay, he does not care. Just make that really clear. Netanyahu does not care. We can do what we want.
Behind this as well. That's going to be President Biden. He's taking a hit. He has to walk that line. He has to walk a line and figure out, okay, I'm going to piss off Israel. I'm going to piss off some American Palestinians, American Arabs. He got to walk a line. If he goes one way right now, the Arab Americans saying, forget Biden. Israel said, forget Biden for not calling cease war. He got to walk a line, and he's gonna cause problems. He's gonna get hit just by that alone.
You're right. Biden right now is really in a lot of trouble, because we got to understand. People got to really understand that Israel wouldn't be the power that they are if they did not have the money, our money, United States taxpayer money. Israel would not be as powerful as they are, especially militarily. And now, since we're talking about we trying to change, I wanted to read something that I just read before we came on the air. I was looking at it. It says total U.S. foreign assistance by country adjusted for inflation from 1946 to 2022. The top of the list is Israel with $317.9 billion, Vietnam $184.5 billion, Egypt $182.5 billion, Afghanistan $60.9 billion, South Korea $119.9 billion, United Kingdom $107.5 billion, India $102 billion, Iraq 100 billion, Turkey 98 billion, and France 96.9 billion. That's you and I's tax money. That's our tax money. Okay. And then when we go to handle problems here in the United States, we don't have the money.
Sorry. I'm so sorry. We got kept that spending. Okay, let's get rid of some damn IRS agents. We'll get rid of them. We got cut to spending, some of this unnecessary spending. The deficit has tripled and went over by trillions of dollars. But sir, didn't you guys do that? Don't worry about what we did. Worry about what they did over there.
Yes. Now that you just brought up another point. And then what Congress just approved, what is it, $14 billion for Israel?
Israel only.
I mean, what are we doing? Okay, what actually are we doing? You know, when we have problems here in the United States, come on, guys, think about this. Okay, let's bring it down to something that we can understand. Okay, let's say you got a job, right? Your income is X amount. All right, so you got to pay your bills and stuff. But instead of paying all of your bills, you start giving your money to the people next door, and you say, you know what? I need to give them some money too. So instead of paying your bills, you give the people next door money. Okay, instead of putting gas in your car, you put gas in people next door, right? Instead of getting food for your family, you get food for the people next door. Now you give yourself, your family a little crumbs, but you give the overages to the people next door. How do you think that would go over with your family?
You'll be by yourself.
And why are we not more interested in that? Why are we not more upset about that? I mean, we are paying the entire westernized world, or the entire world. The United States people are working daily, and they're telling us we got to work more. You 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 got to make more money, and we can get on the inflation thing and all that stuff. But you got to make more money, and we're continually giving money away.
Well, it's flat out, and here's the story: the government can find money for whatever the government wants money for.
Exactly. You are exactly right. I mean, you know, when they tell you, we don't have money to supplement food for children in schools. We don't have money to fix broken water systems. We don't have money to give expecting mothers, or to give families that doesn't have enough to eat. We don't have the money to build an infrastructure that's first class. We just don't have the money for that.
Guess what?
But then
all those little pieces, all those locations that John just mentioned, guess where they are located? They're located in disadvantaged Black and brown areas.
And that's why I brought that up. You're right. You read my mind. See, but we don't get that, because they wouldn't do that. Come on, Yancy, they would do that? Really? The United States?
Getting my check every single month.
I know, right? Look, I mean, we as American people are really going to have to get more involved. I mean, it's the time for sitting back and not paying attention is just ridiculously gone. I mean, look, we're looking at, they're saying that, Biden's numbers, because of Bidenomics or whatever that is. I hate that term anyway, but that, it's not good because the used car industry is doing poor, that we're paying more for gas, we're paying more for a box of cereal. When are we going to understand that is because of the industry? That is because of the corporations that own or control those areas raise prices. They don't have to, but they do. And now they want to blame the UAW. Well, see, the UAW, they're extorting us.
The thing is that it's also, you're 100% right, John. I totally agree with you. It's also about evolving. We are evolving.
Yes.
I mean, back not too long ago, the hottest car was a Toyota Supra. You remember that was the hottest car back on the market back in the 70s. But it was now evolving, you guys. We're not the same. We're changing. And if you don't change, it'll roll right on over you.
Well, see, and that's the thing. If you don't change, If you don't change, you become the world passes you by, which has been happening to us for a long time. That's why we don't make they're complaining about the chips being made here that's going to cost more money than it's going to cost in China. Well, because you're paying people in China very little money, okay, but you're paying the people here a working wage. Now, does it have to be that high? No. You can put limits on the corporations, how much profit they can get, but you can't do that, because then they're going to tell you, oh, well, that's regulation. Yeah, we don't want to be regulated. We want to just pull the regulations off. Okay, so that's why it's going to cost you more money. I mean, it's fine. You want to pull regulations away, but it's going to cost the American taxpayer more money.
It's just as simple as this. If a corporation can get away with paying you only $3 an hour, they damn will do it.
They will do it. They will do it. The only reason why you have lunch is because, and well, actually, you don't get a lunch break. People think that you get a lunch break. You really don't. Federally, you really don't. You get 2 15-minute breaks after 4 hours of work. Okay, and that's what you get. You don't get a lunch, and you don't get mandatory time off. Nothing like that. Those are things that are forced upon corporations to give you because of either the labor market or labor union. The union actually set a lot of the standards. But if it wasn't for that, you would not have lunch. If it wasn't for that, it wasn't for them saying you can only work X amount of hours before you can call them back in to bring back to work, you'd be working all day and all night. They were working all day and all night. We forget about that. They didn't, when in the industrial age, the children was working in these plants. There was no lunch breaks. There was no sick leave. There was nothing. That's why the unions and everybody got involved and said, hey, you can't work these people like that.
I'm gonna go on record for full disclosure. I am not a union guy. I highly despise unions. Then let me qualify that statement for you guys. Start sending me your damn hate mail. I only don't like unions because you got to pay to be involved. You got to pay them every month. Okay, the thing is now, and I totally agree that these corporations are not paying these people a fair wage. I think that's wrong. But I don't think it takes a union paying these people money every single month, all these people, and they really don't help you. They ain't gonna do nothing but do what anybody else is gonna do.
That's another thing that you bring up is union membership and or the price you pay for union membership. I think that the unions have done a disservice to themselves because of the hierarchy and because of the amount of money that you pay and because how they use it, and true. Now, I happen to be a union person. I like unions. I didn't always, but then when I started looking at union helped me before, but when I started looking at it and going like, yeah, if it wasn't for some type of regulation, the industry, the corporations would run roughshod over you. But that's supposed to be, if you break it down, that's supposed to be your government's position. They are supposed to say, hey, you can't work our people like this. This is what you have to do in order to do business, but they don't do that. Because that would be
that's the reason why I lean toward the government. There are laws for that in the government.
Yeah. But, if people follow them. But they don't follow them. So I mean, that's why, and again, like Yancy said, in a perfect world, you wouldn't need a union. In a perfect world, the companies would abide by what the government says. Of course, they're going to be calling that regulation. You can't regulate us. You can't regulate us, so we can continue to dump poison in your drinking water. But that's another story. So they don't want to be regulations like that. The corporations do not want regulations like that. They will fight tooth and nail, tell you that regulations are bad. When we didn't have regulations, that's when we had regulations. When we didn't have regulations, when we didn't have regulations, that's when all of our chip manufacturers and everybody went to China. Check it out. Okay.
We all know who don't like unions. That's those wonderful Republicans. Hey, John Santos. I mean John Haynes. Did I call you Santos?
Yeah, you did. Man, Santos, man.
What on with that? Yeah. What's going on?
This is what. Yeah, see, I read that and I told my wife, I said, I'm done. I'm just done. They could not get enough votes to evict this guy or take him out of the Congress.
Who've been lying and
They know that he's lying. It's been proven that he's lying. I'm like, and then he's like, well, I need my day in court. You had your day in court. I mean, now they're just trying to, I could not believe that the Congress, they couldn't, and it was by a wide margin. Well, we believe that the system should work. Come on, man. That's just crazy. That's crazy. That in case you guys didn't understand, people tell me, well, you and Yancy start talking, but we can't follow you guys. You go so fast. Well, okay, there was a vote in Congress, I think it was Thursday, whether or not to remove George Santos, the guy who had been found guilty of lying, stealing, and cheating to get in office, right? Serious business now. It's not a joke. And they could not not gather enough votes to remove him from Congress. Now, one of his Republican senators, one of his Republican people in New York brought it to the floor. And they just couldn't find enough votes to remove this guy. Does that tell you something about the people that you put in office? But remember, it's your fault because you did or did not vote for these people. All right?
Non-vote was a vote for the other party.
That's right. If you don't vote, and I know people that tell me they don't, it irritates me to no avail. And I try not to be, but it irritates me when someone tells me I don't vote. It doesn't matter at all. I don't vote. It doesn't matter at all. And then in the next breath, they start complaining about taxes. I'm like, shut up. You don't even understand the system. If you don't vote, you don't understand the system.
Irritates me also. I'm just like John. It bugs the hell out of me when someone tells me they don't vote. You know what I generally do? I generally walk away from you because all you do is tell me your ignorance. You showing me your ignorance. That's how I need to walk away.
Basically, and
yeah,
go ahead. No, basically, because I don't. At that point, we have nothing to talk about. Really, we don't. Because unless you want to talk about football or baseball or whatever, basketball or or the weather or something like that, but you can't talk about anything of substance with me if you're going to tell me I don't vote. It's like, okay, well, then you don't have, don't complain and you're part of the problem. The people that would not, that could not remove George Santos from office, right, are the people that we voted for to put in office. Right. So they voted to keep a criminal in Congress. Okay, so I guess birds of a feather do flock together.
And they go vote, bring another criminal back into the White House.
Yes, big time. They're going to bring another. They're going to bring another. Yeah. Do you believe that? I mean, seriously, do you believe that Donald Trump would win election against Biden right now?
Right now, right to today for the election, it'll be. I think it'll be real close.
Yeah, I think he'd win. Actually, the one of the things that really bothers me is that we have now people who are primarying Joe Biden. Basically, primarying means that there's people that's going to be running against him to be the nominee for the Democratic person to be. What am I saying? The Democrat person to be voted for president, the nominee. Okay, and so basically, there's other people. There's a what is it? The Kennedy guy. Just because his last name is Kennedy does not mean he's a good guy. Okay, and then you have what is his name? Cornel West. I think that's say again.
Cornel West is running?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
There's also governor from Minnesota. Also, he's running.
Yeah.
But right. It's a primary. If you want to put their hat in the ring and spend money, go right ahead. You have no chance of winning.
Well, either spend money or get money, because that's probably one of the reasons why they're doing this. They're able to make money and live off of it. Basically, because they could write off everything as a campaign thing. Yeah, but say again.
They have no chance of winning. None at all.
No. I really don't believe they do. But they are throwing their hat in the ring. Now, do I believe in a perfect world should a person of Biden's age be running for office? No. I say that unequivocally, no. However, who else do you have that is basically has any chance in the world to run against Donald Trump and win. This guy's we had 4 years to find somebody else. We didn't, you know.
If I had to grab somebody right today, right this second, I know you guys are gonna get all upset, but I'll probably grab Newsom. Gavin
Newsom.
Yeah.
So you guys don't know he's the governor of California.
Yeah.
Gavin Newsom. You think that because I know he's positioning himself for not this year, but next year, our next election cycle. I can tell he's positioning himself definitely. You know, he's got the look, he's got the largest, you know, government and everything like that. So and what do you think about the governance in California, man? My brother hates it, but what do you think about the governance in California?
I think I know why your brother hates, but I'm not going to say, but I think I know
why.
Yeah. I think California is really progressive. And if you walk in from the East Coast or even the Midwest areas and walk in California, you say, "Oh, what's all these regulations? What's all this stuff going on? Why I gotta do this? Why I got?" But California, it works for California. I'm sorry, it just works for California. Green part of California works. All that, it's California, man. I'm sorry, that is what it. I call California the Birkenstock people, who wear Birkenstock and flip flops. And that's
Birkenstock and flip flops. I like that.
Hey man, that's what they do. And it works for them.
It does. It really does. I mean, like I was driving on when I was in California. I was driving on the roads in California and the freeways and stuff. And I'm like going, wow, you know, this is really pretty nice. I mean, you know, but they pay for it. They pay for it in taxes. They do pay for it. And so, yeah, I mean, I don't know, the jury's out, but whether or not he runs for office, it depends on who's running, what actually runs for nomination. Depends on who would be running against him, whether or not I would vote for him. But he was definitely a look. He's definitely, see, he's someone that I think they should have been trying to get there 4 years ago. You know, he should have started like 4 years ago. The Democratic Party should have been like, hey, we need somebody else. Biden's getting too old. You know, and then Biden should have been, you know, pouring into someone, whether it's him or not, someone else, you know, I'm going to pour into you. We're going to start backing you 3.5 years ago. So that right now, you know, you would have a viable candidate, right? But you don't. And this is what I don't like about that's the reason why I can't be a Democrat. The reason why I don't like about the Democratic Party, because they always, let me stop saying it in broad, people say, John, you're speaking broad strokes. Okay, so in my experience, okay, I'll qualify that. The Democratic Party waits to the last minute to come up with a solution, albeit might sometimes a good solution, but they wait for the last minute and then they don't wind up getting support for those different initiatives and stuff because they waited. 100%. They party.
100%
Go ahead.
John, you're 100% right. And someone says I'm with a broad stroke, I'm painting you with a huge ass roller. The Democratic Party are reactionary parties. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I don't agree with that. It's time to go on offense.
Yep.
Not defense. It's time to go on offense.
And so that's the reason why you're right. You are 100%. I totally agree with you. You know, it's time to go on offense. And they're a reactionary party. They really are. And they don't plan. I can say, well, in my experience, because I've been part of it in Nevada and of the Democratic Party, and coming from the Republican Party, going to that, I'm like, this is chaos, man. You guys don't have plans for any of this, you know, and they don't. They really in Las Vegas, they had no plans for anything. We went to the meetings in the first meeting, and I thought it was going to be, okay, guys, here's your marching orders, blah 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 blah, and they were going, okay, so what should we do? I'm like, whoa. What do you mean, what should we do? Don't we have orders coming from up top down here to tell us what to do? No, we each one of our officers make up our own. That's the reason why y'all losing. I mean, yeah, because the Republicans, they have orders from up top. This is what we're doing, whether it's right or wrong, whether you agree or disagree, right? This is what we're doing. This is what everybody's page is going to be on. Everybody has to say the same thing. Everybody's got to give the same message. When you talk in front of the cameras, you get the same message, you know, and that's why they wind up winning a lot of times, because you hear it enough. The Democrats, they don't know what's going on.
And border, economy and border, drive it home, economy and border.
And you know, I want to talk about, man, and this is another, there's a whole bunch of guys there I want to talk about. Look, perception. And when I remember when I was doing business and I was pulled aside and I was told perception is 99.9% of the battle. And I'm like, what? Perception, what people think they believe, what people think you told them is important. So the news kept coming. Everybody comes out with the economy is doing bad. The economy is doing bad. The economy is doing bad, right? Corporations are raising prices and you're paying more for cereal. You're paying more for milk. But corporations keep using prices because they're telling you that the economy is bad. Have you looked at a football game lately? Have you looked at a basketball game lately?
Yeah.
Hell, have you looked at Formula Racing lately?
Yeah.
All those seats are filled. The
Yeah.
arenas are filled, right? And when you look at how much money the tickets cost to an NFL game, the tickets, cheap tickets are going to cost you $200 a seat. Okay, I mean, and all those things are full,
So
right?
all people are saying we don't want no bread, milk, and cheese, and eggs. We want to go here. Is that what they do, John?
That's right. Instead of buying food, man, we're gonna go watch the team play. You know, forget paying the bills. We're gonna watch it. Do you actually think that's what's happening? You know, I mean, you look at, you know, I fly, you know, at least 4 times a year from coast to coast, right? I remember when we first started doing this, which was like, you know, 6 years ago, right? You get on the plane sometime and you'd have a whole half a plane to yourself, right? Depending on what flight you get, you know, you'd have a bunch. Now, for the last 4 years, the planes have been jam-packed. I mean, jam-packed. They're telling you can't bring your luggage on. You got to bring, you know, because we don't have room. They're jam-packed. If we had problems, if there was, the economy was so bad, why are these planes so jam-packed? And they're not with business people. You know, I mean, we go to restaurants. I have the, fortunately, you know, nowadays I get to eat out a lot. I never could before, but I get to eat now that I'm retired. I get to eat out a lot, and not a lot, but we get to eat out. And you go to restaurants are full. They give you these little buzzer things, right? They tell you, okay, when the buzzer goes off, it's your turn. Okay. When people are doing bad, restaurants are not full. They're just not. I've been there before. You walk into a restaurant, oh yeah, okay, I want that seat, that seat, that seat. You can't do that now. Restaurants are normally, at least the good ones, are normally full. Okay, and the prices.
Have you guys forgot what bad looks like? Back in we had a pandemic, wasn't nobody in the restaurant, wasn't nobody in the airports, wasn't nobody on the street. That's bad.
That's bad. That's bad.
Don't get hoodwinked, you guys. Don't get hoodwinked.
Hoodwinked by professional hoods. See, that is that's what's being happening. That is the thing, man. I could not believe this. I'm like going, but they tell you the economy is doing bad. And I'm looking around me going, yeah, the economy is not doing that dang bad. Okay, because you wouldn't have all these things. Like Yancy just said, do you remember doing the pandemic and right after? That's bad. Okay, when planes were empty, that they were flying back and forth empty, that's bad. When you go to a restaurant and they say, you can sit right here, sir, that's bad. Okay. You know, in the grocery stores, right? There were very few people in the grocery stores, and that's bad. You know, but what we have right now, folks, that's not bad. They're telling us it's bad. And corporations are saying, ooh, they just told them it's bad. Raise it to 3%, you know, raise it to 5%. You know, that's why you're paying $9 for a box of cereal. Well, I'm not, but that's why some people are paying $9 for a box of cereal. You know, I mean, it's ridiculous. But, and then you look from store to store, you at one store, and okay, I'm on the East Coast, so at one store for a gallon of milk, you're paying what, $2.40, almost $3. In another store for a gallon of milk, the same gallon of milk, you're paying $7. Why? I can't believe it. If you have one of these things on your phone, I'm not going to say the name of one I use because they're not a supporter, but if you use one of those things on your phone, you can actually go around and check from store to store to store to store what the prices are, you know, and you'd be surprised the difference in prices depending on the store.
I totally agree. So I don't know why Well, it's also is predicated in, like anything else in commerce. It depends on exactly the area where you live in, your zip code. You can
Yeah.
go to here to one zip code and pay $4 for gas. Go to this other zip code over here because it's a higher tax rate. You pay almost like $7 a gallon of gas. It's just depending on the zip code.
Man, okay, so just recently I drove from Las Vegas to Idaho. And yeah, I'll tell you about that. But okay, so I had to drive from Las Vegas to Idaho, okay? And I was driving a cargo van. The thing is that the price of gas, and then I drove to California. The price of gas, oh my God! When I saw $7 in certain parts of actually in California, I almost flipped. I was like, what? Okay, and then you drive to Idaho and it starts being like, $3, $4. But then you come here to the East Coast and I just paid $3.33, $3.43 for a gallon of gas just yesterday. Okay, but then you look in California and it's $6. They're gonna tell you it's because of the formula that we use to process our gas. That's bull, guys. That, you know what they do? They either turn on a valve or they turn off a valve. Okay, they turn on the valve to put more of the stuff in there that you want because of your economy, because of your environment, or they turn off the valve and it doesn't go in. Same company, same place. Okay, but you're gonna be paying $7 for gas here, $3 for gas here, depending on what part of the country you're in, and that's ridiculous.
Yeah. But they have that summer gas and winter gas. I know in DC they did. I remember them saying that. I said, I had never heard that before. Yes,
Yeah, because during the summertime we put a certain additive in. What? Why?
Yeah, I don't know why, man. I don't even know. Yeah,
Because they get to make more money. I just think because of the time when you're driving more, and it's usually during the summertime, like you said, when you're driving more and taking vacations, they get to charge you more money. But when you're not driving and the weather's bad, so like that, they'll make it lower because you don't have to drive as much. So you're not making. If you notice also during the holidays, there'll be a bump. There'll be a bump in the prices of gas. Follow this. And then you ask yourself, instead of complaining about it, ask yourself why.
Especially come Thanksgiving. Because why? Because Thanksgiving equals family. And family should be together on Thanksgiving. Get on out there to Chevron and get you a gallon of gas.
Yeah, I know, you're going to be driving, more like you said. And then again, they're going to raise the prices. There's going to be a bump. It's going to go up. You're going to listen for it. It's probably already started, because nowadays, since they can't, because of social media, they're not just going to bump it up like they used to, right? One day is this price, the next day is that price. They'll gradually bump it up. It's like rolling discovery. They'll gradually bump it up. Just like the government gradually tells you what's going on. It's not just in your face anymore, because people, it's like a frog. If you put a frog in a pot of water and if it's hot, the water, they jump out. If you put a frog in a pot of water and you gradually raise the temperature, you'll stay in there until they cook.
Sit on down. Something's cooking around here, but it smells good though.
Frog soup. No, but I mean, just think about that, guys. I keep doing these things, man. I keep thinking, when are people just really gonna say, okay, enough is enough? I don't understand it. I don't understand it. And I don't understand. It's like what I'm seeing the thing with Israel. And I don't understand why people can't understand that they're watching genocide. They're watching genocide on their news on a daily basis, and nobody's doing. I used to always ask why, when the Jews were being gassed, right? When the Germans were gassing the Jewish people, why didn't more people stand up? Why didn't they fight? Why didn't they? I would have been fighting. I'd been like, no, you can't kill these people. You can't do this. Why? But now people are sitting back watching. Oh, I can't get involved with that. I got too much going on. I have too much to risk. I have been cautioned, Yancy. I've been cautioned seriously about being detrimental to, or talking detrimentally about Israel, because you have to watch that, John, because people, there are people who are in certain areas and certain powerful areas that happen to be of the Jewish faith, and they'll take that wrong. And I'm like, but I'm not. I have friends. I can't say his name, but actually it was a Jewish person that told me that. I can't, what am I supposed to do? Like, just be careful of how far you go with your criticizing of Israel. Like,
I'm gonna tell you like this. Someone told me on Facebook one time. They told me, they said, "I feel sorry for you because of because my criticization to Israel." Don't get me wrong. And I'm gonna say this one last damn time. That's what I'm gonna tell you. I condemn totally what Hamas did to Israel, completely and totally. I totally condemn Israel what they're doing to the Palestinian people. Totally condemn them. That's
yeah.
where if you don't like where I stand, I really don't give a beep.
No, and I'm with you, man. I mean, like, look, I never, like I was telling somebody, I never said Hamas was doing it. I never backed Hamas for 1 minute. I said it was horrible.
No.
It's horrible. It's unconceivable of what they did. Those people they are animals. You don't do that. Okay. However, when Israel starts bombing, whole like neighborhoods, well, we're trying to get at, they have tunnels underneath. Look, these people bombed a hospital. They bombed a freaking school. Well, because Hamas has people underneath there. How do you know that? How do you know that? See, this is a question I want to ask. Because you had the Mossad go in and find that. Then you painted the building and they bombed the damn building. Now, are there women and children in there? Well, Hamas has a center. Were there women and children there? Hamas has, I don't care about whether Hamas is there. You're telling me that you're going to kill a bunch of women and children just to get to Hamas? That's acceptable to you?
That's where they broke the law, right there. Because it's not catastrophic danger. Not catastrophic danger. It's another word. When innocent civilians get killed, there's a proportion to that. Is what they did. They came in and just took out everybody. Now they understand people got killed. They get that, but not people scared that happened when they took out the places.
These people bombed. They bombed an ambulance because they were saying that Hamas had bombs or something inside that ambulance, right? They didn't find any, but they said they had bombs in there. They bombed a hospital because Hamas had tunnels underneath that hospital. They didn't find any, but they said that Hamas has bombs underneath that, had tunnels underneath there. Now, did they? I don't know. And if they did, why can't you, if you knew that they had that, why can't you surgically go in and remove them? Is there going to be people are going to die? Yes, some people are going to die. Some civilians are going to die. There's always casualties of war, but you're not just going to bomb the whole damn place and just, we don't care. We want to get rid of Hamas. If to make an omelet, you got to crack some eggs. So some people are going to get killed. They may be innocent, but we don't care. We want to just do away with Hamas. Yeah. That's just wrong, and it's actually a war crime.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I was trying to think of, war crime. I think Israel right now is trying to take the position that we don't want to end up like this Iraq war and American war that lasted 25 years. We want to get this thing over with and done. I understand that portion of it. I do. I agree with that portion, but you just can't go in with a large machete and start just cutting everything in. You got to go in precisionally and cut things away. So, but I do
just like saying, "Oh, go ahead."
I'd say I do agree with him. You don't no 20-year war. You don't want that.
Yeah, no, you don't want to be doing that. That's like saying, well, you got a piece of melanoma here on your shoulder. We're gonna just go ahead and cut the whole arm off. Yeah, like what? Wait a minute. If a doctor told you that, are you gonna say, well, what, huh? Yeah, we're gonna take your arm off because there's a little thing right here. We can take the whole arm off, man. Like, okay, hold up. That's what they're doing. And for people, the thing that really irritates me, I listen to good people that I really thought were good people, making excuses for bombing cities of people. Like, it's okay. One person had a Lion of Judah and the with the Israeli flag over it, and I was going to get into that, but I'm not. Like, do you know who the Lion of Judah is? Do you know who Jacob was? Wasn't one of Jacob's sons Ham? Do you know who Ham was? Anyway, that's another whole story for another whole day. But I'm like, come on, man, you guys can't be that naive. You really can't. If you're, thou shalt not kill, isn't that one of the commandments? Or we just, okay, thou shalt not kill unless we want to get to Hamas. I mean, come on, man. That's just not. No, I'm not with that. And so if you want to call me anti-Semitic, you can. I am not, but you can't, because that is what happens and what they do that. The reason why they do that psychologically is because they disavow everything that you say. If you're saying something, you're making a point, then what's going to happen is they're going to get you on the air and they're going to say he's anti-Semitic, and that just takes away everything you're saying. Well, it has an anti-Semitic hue. We really don't accept that as fact, even though it's verifiable factual. We don't accept that because it has an anti-Semitic view. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm done. You can't argue with people like that.
You can't say that kind of thing.
So what else is happening, man?
Well, a lot has happened, that's for sure. So yeah.
I think I went through everything that I wanted to talk about. Where are we at? I've gone through everything. I thought we were going to have a whole lot more, but I really am. I think I'm done. What about you?
I got everything. I think we've been at it a little more now. So yeah.
Really, we've been out at it. Really? Okay. Well, okay, everybody, listen to it in segments. We were supposed to do a two-parter type thing. But see, here's the deal. The reason why people are like, why is it so long, John? First off, you don't have to listen to it all at one time if you don't want to. Secondly, because Yancy and I get to rolling, and because we don't have a script sitting in front of us, right? We get to rolling and we just start going, and then next thing you know, it's an hour's gone. It's two friends talking about what happened in the world today. This is the first. Yancy and I usually don't talk until Fridays. And if we do, sometimes we text each other, especially if something really big happens. We text each other. Yancy say, let's go in there. So we do it. And we're going to be doing hopefully a whole lot more. That I want to find a way to go live and stuff like that. Anyway, so that's all I have to say for this week, guys. Leave your comments as usual. Leave your critiques. People are really good at that, and I accept it. If you critique me, and if it's good, if it's something that's I'm trying to think of the word. I can't say it, but I think of the word. But if it's something that I say, okay, well, yeah, maybe they are right. But if you just want to critique me because you don't agree with my position, just say I don't agree with your position, and that's cool, right? That's cool. You don't have to agree with me. Just give me your verifiable factual information. Anyway, that's it for me, guys. Yancy, your parting shots, my friend.
Basically, John can say that because John is infoblimps. Don't send me no bullshit. Don't send your crap to me unless you agree with me.
See, again, this is not scripted, man. That was funny as hell. Okay, and everybody one of the things everybody says is, yes, he is funny. I was like, yeah, he is. He really is. But he's serious too, guys. He's serious. So yeah, you're right. I mean, I listened to it, but yes, he said, don't send him no crap. All right, guys, that's it for us. Please share this with your friends. Let everybody know that we're out here doing our thing on a weekly basis, getting it going. And it's going to be election time soon next year. We really going to be on that part next year for sure. All right, guys, that's it for me and Yancy for the weekly wrap up. Thank you very much for listening. We appreciate you. Peace.